In 1914, the American poet Robert Frost published a famous piece called The Death of the Hired Man. In this poem, he describes a conversation between a farmer and his wife, the farmer having been away for the day, doing necessary things, and having returned after dark. His wife, Mary, informs him that she has taken in a hired man, a wayward hired man who had worked for them in a previous harvest, but had left, supposedly by the lure of better pay elsewhere, which turned out to be a false promise, and now he has returned penniless, looking for work. Farmer, although not unjust, feels perhaps that he had made a good offer in the past, and it had been turned down. But his wife, Mary, beseeches, as it were, the farmer on behalf of the man she's taken in, encouraging him to be kind to the man named Silas, who has come in from his journey and is now resting by the fire. After an extended conversation, the farmer goes in to check on the man, and he has died beside the stove. Many literary critics see this poem as a kind of allegory based on the Blessed Mother in some ways and on other Christian themes of journey and eschatology. Frost himself was Swedenborgian, at least by his childhood, and was a complicated agnostic, let's say, in his adult life. But nevertheless, as a literary device, he employs what seems to be a reference to certain aspects of Christian Mariology, or ways of thinking theologically about the life and continued value of the Blessed Mother in the Church's own life of faith. If we think about our own prayer of the Hail Mary, it concludes that she would pray for us now and at the hour of our death. There's certainly something of her mercy and kindness reflected in Frost's own depiction of the character Mary in his poem, The Death of a Hired Man. When we think about the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, the original documents from 1854 from Pope Pius IX call our attention in a special way to the divine maternity of the Blessed Mother. Mary's divine maternity, another Marian dogma, at least in its dogmatic form, dates from the Council of Ephesus in the year 431. Mary's maternity is a feature, of course, of the earliest forms of Christian belief and is on full display in the New Testament as well. That she would be a mother of the incarnate Word is therefore, in the Church's view, to say also that she is a mother of the Church and a mother for each one of us as well in faith. Her role as intercessor is highlighted by Pius IX and by all who profess devotion to her, precisely because the maternal quality that she highlights, that she brings to the context of Christian faith, is something more than a piety or an empty metaphor. It is an intrinsic component, the Church tells us, from those earliest centuries, of our own understanding of how we are saved in Jesus Christ, to acknowledge her as mother not merely of Christ's humanity, but of the whole of what Christ is as incarnate Word, is to say something true about the Church, and therefore about ourselves alive in Jesus Christ. We turn to her in a special way today to be reminded of those dogmatic truths, of course, not only in a speculative or intellectual sense, but on a practical and personal level as well, that we might find in her a mother who welcomes us, no matter how wayward our journey, to a warm place by the fire.